one, the only Dr. Isaac Gang, who's going to be looking at the role of natural language processing and data set development. Let's give him a round of applause. Tim, are you saying bye? Don't say
Yes.
bye. Dr. Isaac, are you ready?
Yes, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, yes, we can.
Well, thank you so much. I didn't get your name, so I can acknowledge you. Thank you so much for the introduction. Um, it's a pleasure. I just want to reach out to your team in Davos, South Sudan, and also the participant. I am Isaac Gang. I'm calling you from the United States. I'm very glad to be here with you. I want to thank the organizers and certainly the contact person who reached out to me. That is Paul Henry for inviting me. I was hesitant to come because I know this was a very short notice, and I have all the commitment. But I was conflicted because I wanted to be here with you all. Um, Technology, especially AI and machine learning, are the future. And thinking about what we have done, the country in line of investing whatever we have and making sure that we're exposed to this technology and this field, compels me to at least appear, even if I'm not going to give a formal presentation. I want to share a couple of thoughts, especially in the area of natural language processing, which is NLP, language integration, and most importantly, our natural languages and how important it is for them to be maintained. So on those notes, I'm just gonna speak on two things. First, what is natural language processing? How does it relate to AI and machine learning as a whole? And how are our languages as a country benefit or fit the picture in terms of digitization, exposure, and development, right? So natural language processing, as you may imply, is a process that allow us to understand languages as a whole. So when we say natural language, we're talking about languages that are spoken. We could say this Arabic, Nuer, English, and all the other languages that we know. So for the computer to be useful in understanding these languages, we need to have a method or technique that allow us to do that. Because computer is not like us. It doesn't reason the way we do. It doesn't think the way we do. And most importantly, it doesn't process data the same way we do. So we have to work with it to make sure that it is at the level that we are as people. And so we can understand our language processing, using the technology. So with that being said, I want to mention a couple of areas that benefit from natural language processing. If you ever heard of sentiment analysis is just a fancy way of saying that how do we feel? If I need to understand, how a citizen of South Sudan feel about a certain topic, I can analyze their sentiment, meaning their feelings. So NLP has the power to do that. That's actually one of the places or one of the areas that it is very, very effective in. So that's one area. You can also think about fraud detection. When you think of fraud detection, there's how do we decide whether something is true or not? We can use language analysis or language processes to understand that area. We can also think of this as a way to translate languages. You hear about our language translation, Dinka, Nuer, and Acholi, that we work on to translate. That's one area that it is very, very effective in. So the list is long. This goes to show you that, especially for those that are going to school, for those that are in this program in South Sudan, to think about this area as a critical area for consideration if you want to measure something. So I want to encourage you to look more into natural language processing and the entire picture of machine learning and AI because it's a very important area. With that being said, I think I want to focus for the next 5 minutes on answering the question, how did we manage to take our languages, assist Google to translate those into its translate platform? You can imagine the long process. That's the reason I say that in order for us to get to the same level for the computer to get to the same level as us, we need to go through a lot of work, a lot of a lot of techniques. And so what we have done, and this was a 5 years project, was to think about data collection because from the very smallest part of the process, uh, you need to you need to be able um, uh, to have data that the language can learn from, or the language can use to translate the sentence that you want, that you want to be translated. So for this reason, we spend a lot of time collecting data. We initially start with the Nuer language, basically because we have enough support in terms of translation, in terms of processes, and certainly in terms of writing. And so we start with that, and we start collecting data first manually, and then later we discover a process that would allow us to include more people, or multiple people to participate in the process. So we found a tool that was able to assist us in doing that. I will share that tool with you in a second. But just to say that this tool is a database that allows people to go and include sentences in the database. And then once you have sufficient sentences, you can then make your case of why your language should be translated. Again, for a language to be translated, there has to be almost one-to-one equivalent between source and destination language. So if we're taking a Acholi to English, if we want to translate 1 million sentences, there have to be 1 million sentences translated and available for translation. So you can imagine how difficult that process is. So it took us 5 years. Once we learned from Google that what we will have to do is to have sufficient sentences for these languages to be translated, we realized that it wasn't possible, even despite deploying hundreds of people to translate sentences. We end up with maybe within a year just thousands of sentences. And so the translation, you can imagine, is very complicated. So what we did was to console all the sources that are online. If you go online, for example, for Acholi, you may find Hymnal, you may find all the sources that are available. So we scrape those sources that are available to help us conduct the translation. So that scraping, in my opinion, was the biggest achievement for the team, because now instead of taking a long time to get the sources of languages, you can go to Nuer Hymnal, you can go to Dinka Hymnal. A hymnal basically is a source of all of the words that you can think about, because Bible obviously, and is a similar source. We also have Bibles in Nuer and Isholo online. So combining these sources together allow us to take what we did on Toshiba and the web scraping, and then we managed to provide sufficient data, one-to-one sufficient translation from source language, say in this case Dinka to English, and then we were successful when we discovered that this was successful, and these languages were successfully included in the list. We were very excited, and it seemed as though our communities were very excited. We're now working to include other languages and using the same process, because now we have a point of reference that we can use. And so now we say we identify about 10 or 20 languages that we want to include in the next phase of translations. It's going to take some time, but again, we want people to be part of it, and I would like to to encourage this group to be in touch with us so that they can participate in this in this project. So with that said, we can look on Toshiba. I'm going to share my screen. If that is possible, I'll show you a little bit of that, then I can ask take questions. I know the time is limited. Thank you guys for allowing me to speak to you briefly. even though I was supposed to come first, but obviously with the time difference, I realized that there was there was a confusion in terms of time. So I'm glad that Pony and the team was able to accommodate me to come in the last minute. So let me allow me to share the screen. Uh, I'll be talking to you then. If can you guys see my screen? Can you just say yes if you can?
Yes, we are seeing your screen.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. So this is Totiba. This is Totiba database, language database. Just to give you a couple examples, if you look at this, just the first line, you'll see that there's 12 million sentences that have been translated. What happens is if you come to this page, I'm just gonna show you a couple of areas. English obviously is the most popular language with 1.9 million, followed by Russian. And so, so we come here, we input the language, we input the Nuer language, and then you just send people to come here and translate. So if you want, the number of languages on this platform is just so that I'm going to go all the way to 10, if you can see it. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's just so you can imagine, there are 430 languages on this database. If you look at the last language, there's only one sentence translated. So you can imagine how difficult it is to translate language, or even to find people to do the translation. So if we go to Nuer, because we worked on this for 5 years, we managed to translate close to 2,000 sentences, but even that, it wasn't sufficient to make the translation. We had to use all the sources to combine it with this to have sufficient sentences to do the translation. So if you go up, I think this should be in the 100 place. Just give me 1 second. All right. All right. So you see the Nuer language is 106. Right. So it's 106 with 2,692 sentences translated. And so this obviously is a long time period, but it is a tedious process. With this number of sentences, we cannot do translation. And so we need all the sources. And thanks to machine learning and AI, we managed to write a simple program to scrape the web, get these sentences. So when we do our review, we discovered that the Nuer language has a lot of similarity, almost one-to-one similarity with the Acholi and Dinka. And so for this reason, we didn't have to do additional work. We just made some additional analysis and changes that allow us to translate the three languages. With this, now with this knowledge under our belt, we have enough information to take any of our languages now and make sure that we can sell it to Google for translation. Just so that you know that this process is very difficult, because I get called all the time, "Hey, when are you going to translate our language?" We're considering all of our languages. If we can successfully translate all of our 64 languages into Google Translate, we will. But as you can imagine, just so that you know how difficult it is, for the last many years since Google Translate was introduced, up until 2023, when we translate our three languages, there were only 100 and something languages translated. During the time that we made the translation, it was the first time that almost 100 languages were translated in the 10 years period. So, we're looking at a long span of time before languages can be added. But with the technology and AI, this is becoming more attainable. So if I click on the language, what happens that each time you come here, you will put a sentence, right? and then it will be translated. And so you come each time you translate it, and so obviously the sentence will will accumulate. So in summary, if I can, because just for the sake of time, we're we want our people, our country, to be among the recognized countries that have languages included, in Google Translate. As of now, we only have 243 languages in Google Translate. If you go on Google right now and ask Google how many languages are spoken in the world, you will get over, over 1,000, right? And so to have over 1,000 languages, the last time I checked, 1,200, 1,300, but this changes from time to time. So if we have our three languages among the 200 languages that are on Google, to us that is a big accomplishment, and for us, that there's a form of pride. As we push forward to make sure that we include more languages, we hope that Google will take the work that we have done, the collaboration that we provided to them, and allow us to include more languages into the translation. So on that note, Pone and the team, I want to stop here. And I want to allow maybe questions for about 2 or 3 minutes because I have to run. But again, I'm very I'm very honored to be a part of this. I thank you for initiating this project, and I hope you continue to move forward successfully with the support from from all the stakeholders that want you to succeed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you too. Let's give him a round of applause. You see, this is why AI can't take human jobs. I mean, we have the origin of languages. How would AI know all the ethnicities globally? How? It needs human beings. Guys, are you seeing the connection? Nevertheless, ask your question, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Isaac. It's me, John, once again. What I just want to ask is that platform for translating the sentences, is it available to everyone? Thank you.
It's availability, the question.
Can you yeah can you repeat again? I think I get part of it. I just want to make sure that I get the whole question.
His question was, is this available to everyone?
Yes, it is public. Correct. Yes. If we once we're done, if someone wants to have access to it, I think I show the website. It is public. You just go to the website at Juba.com.
Thank you so much, Dr. Isaacs. I'm Boy James, and I can really give you my thanks because you have really contributed a lot. More especially, we have a private company, which is the Acholi Media, and we are mostly translating words from English to local languages. So by then it was so difficult, but when you guys came in, it really simplified some of our work. How much it has some error, which is that need to be improved on time. So I really just need to know which specific data set is it only hymnals and Bibles, or you have also collected some terminologies that you have, because we are really finding some words to really fit in the translation. And are you also working on improving it now, or you guys have stopped the project? Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Bob. That's a very good question. So the data set that we've collected is from multiple sources, as I said. And then once we collect them into one master data set, that's what was used by Google. So the sources, as I mentioned, include Tortiba that I shared with you. We had initially collected data manually. I said at the beginning, and then you combine this with with what's available online. People talking people writing, and then Bible, hymnal, and any other text that's freely available. So all of that is combined and put into a master data set. Yes, as with any software, there are issues that are discovered as we as we use the translation. Most of those I guess you can say accent issue, maybe translation issue. Yes, the way that we're going by there, that we're collecting, we're also learning, ourselves. We're collecting those issues with the hope that we we share this data with Google, and then this will the process of undergoing changes is proprietary, so they know when the change will be made. But we are communicating with them to let them know that hey, we discover discrepancies between this translation and that translation. And the issue with our language is that they are very rich, right? One word could have three different meanings, and depending on what part of the of that particular community you're from, there are different dialects. So, despite our best effort to compromise the dialects, there are issues when it comes to translation that people can certainly discover and want to address. So we're working on that. If someone come up with discrepancies or inaccuracies that they want to share, I can provide you with the means to do that. Certainly, we can use that information to improve these three languages.
Thank you. We have 3 questions.
Thank you, Dr. Isaac, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah. So my question is the translation, especially the Google translation. So you talked about Bible hymnals in your presentation, and when it comes to Dinka translation, so the word God with the capital G and God with a small g means different things. The one with the capital G refers to the Almighty Creator, and the other one with the small g refers to other letter spirits. So, however, I have noticed that Google Translate, so it doesn't differentiate the two. So, what does this imply for language accuracy? And how can say distinctions be preserved or improved in machine translation tools like Google Translate, as we also part of the people who is behind the Google translation from Dinka, from English to Dinka, also from English to Nuer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. When we discovered those discrepancies with the system not differentiating between maybe capital letters and small letter, we we take note of that. So what we do periodically, we take a list of concerns or issues. We review them, we validate them, and then once we do that, we send it up to the Google language translation team. They are very slow in terms of giving feedback, and so we don't really know usually what their next step is going to be. But we usually set a reminder that hey, if you want us to help you in doing something, we can do that. But most of the time, they let us know when they want something to be done or when they want to take a step in terms of fixing an error. Especially in the case that you brought up between just differentiating between a capitalization. How can we address that? From our perspective, that seems to be a minor issue. We can easily train the model to know the difference between a G, small G and a big G. But again, depending on the language, because some of the languages have different letters, we can share it with Google to make sure that they take action whenever time comes.
Thank you. We have 2 participants online. We'll start with Chol Daniel. You can ask a question first, followed by K. Dude.
Oh, okay, thank you. My question is just one of. Thank you, Isaac, for good presentation. My question is like, If you're someone who's willing to contribute, like how do you get into it? How do you contribute to this amazing work happening? So that's a question. Thank you.
Thank you, Shio. That's a very good question. We want volunteers. As I say earlier, one of our struggles is getting volunteers. So, the best way I can suggest, I'll give you my email. We're forming teams because for us to be successful in these three languages in terms of improvement, as well as including other languages, we need volunteers. We don't have budget to pay people. Perhaps in the long run, we can have some incentives to get people to work on the languages because we know the importance of these languages. So if someone just want to volunteer in the work that we've done so far, or if you want, if you're thinking about another language that we may be working on and you want to be part of the team of volunteers, I'll share my email with Pony. Then they can share it with you, and then we'll be. We don't have when someone say they want to volunteer, there's no reason to turn them away. So we want as many volunteers as possible. The more volunteers we have, the better.
Thank you. Kate Dukes, kindly ask your question.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Isaac. Initially, last year when Google released the languages we were learning, I guess I'm the best person on it. So congratulations for the good job. My question is on what is the path towards ensuring that the execution as much as possible. If you go now to the Gemini app, you can directly speak to it in English, and currently some of us are facing issues. If you are developing a local problem for the South Sudanese community, the literacy rate in the country is quite high. So it would be convenient for a person to speak to the app directly using their local language. I think that would be convenient. So what is the path that you have chosen, or what is the way forward in that one can directly speak to it, because it's a major problem that we face locally. A lot of people are not literate. Thank you.
That's a very good question. I think it's the vision that we have is very ambitious, and by ambitious, I really hope that all of our people would have access to translation, would have means to use it, would have means to benefit from it. But the realities on the ground, as you know, are very different, and so all of us, whether you're in the country or outside the country, struggle trying to conceive the best way to get people to benefit from this. One of the ideas that I had, obviously, this is this is difficult given the circumstances, is to have training, language training at the local, obviously at the local municipalities, say at the Payam level, not even at the camp, the Payam and Boomers level, to open training center. That's why we think having volunteers that understand the work that we do is going to be critical in the long run, because these are the people that can actually go to this level and ask the question that you're asking. How are we going to benefit from this work? How can how can the local community benefit from it? So from that perspective, I just want to say that we have a plan, but the circumstances of our country being very difficult, being what they are, particularly pertaining to security, is a challenge. We hope in the near term things will get better, so we could have people that want to fund this initiative, and then we could have actually, the volunteer would be comfortable going anywhere in our country and being able to contribute in terms of educating our people. I think the biggest thing and the last thing of this question is that we want our communities to be able to speak their languages. At this point, one of the projects that we initiated is to allow the audio part of the translation to work. As of now, we just have text. Most languages have audio, that accompany the text of the translation. So I can click on, on a link or click on a button, and then I can read the word and then also hear the word. I think when those things are combined, they will be able to help in terms of expanding the benefits to our community, especially the segment that is not educated. Again, to decrease the illiteracy rate will take time. It will need some government actions. but also as you know, as people, we can also contribute at our own ways to make sure that those opportunities are are available.
Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause. Samson. Maybe I think it was a mistake. All right. Samson, did you have a question?
Yes, I do, yes.
All right, carry on.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Isaac. And thank you to everyone that presented and to the audience also that are in the hall. It has been a very good presentation, actually. I wish to appreciate Dr. Isaac for the work done. But I just have some few things to highlight. One thing is, it's about how, as an expert, someone who has been in the field for quite long, how can you help maybe the learners, the students who are now working hard also to be part of the AI? Understand, last year you came and you had a very good presentation actually in University of Juba, which I attended. I thought that was actually going to be the beginning of good learning in AI, but unfortunately, I have never heard anything again about AI initiatives. Maybe how you can maybe collaborate with institutions, how you can maybe help in capacity building, and all sorts of things. Early on in the presentation, Dr. Felix talked about incorporation of AI into our curriculum and talked about collaboration with other institutions, could be universities, could be any other institutions that are maybe well recognized in AI, so that students or the learners can at least have platform to come and express their views and also learn from the experts. That's one. Number two, now given the fact that AI is now infiltrating into all fields, what does it mean in terms of security, the data security or our online security? Is it really safe that the AI is going to defend us online, or is it that it is going to deteriorate given the fact that the threat actors can use this to advance their attacking skills? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samson. That's a great question. My answer is going to be long because this is a very this is a very important question. In 2023, when I came and lecture at the University of Juba, I had two goals in mind. I wanted to introduce machine learning and AI, and then I want to assess the demand. What really surprised me in a good way was how much demand there was for AI and machine learning. When I came to Juba, I contacted Dr. Cage at night that I'm in town and I would like to come to the university and share some ideas. I'm not going. I'm going to be leaving in about a day or two. So Dr. Cage rushed to send send the message to the media, and you say he told me I was, keep in mind I was calling him at night. He said you can come tomorrow. I was like there's no way people are going to come, right? But when I got to the university, it's good that I came late. The hall was full, and then there was an overflow room that was also full, and people were not able to come in. And so that sent two messages. One, there was a demand, and when I saw that, I was very pleased. I wanted to do something because I had ideas, and those ideas was how can I contribute to this, to this field here, so that our students can benefit. So I had a meeting with Dr. Kate with two proposals. One, that I will help develop a machine learning curriculum, or if you have a plan to develop one already, I can teach two or three courses in this program. So we both seem to be excited about that. When I left, Dr. Kate was no longer the chancellor, but when I came back, I went to him, and then I went new vice chancellor, Dr. Robert, and then we met the same seat. My last word was that if money is an issue, I would teach for free. Making long story short, to this day I have not heard back from the university on that proposal or to to do something with the students, which is a bit disappointing. But I'm sure there's some technical issues there. So to answer your question, I have every intention to assist. I think there was one point that I reached out to Felix to see how we can collaborate because I understand that he's doing something with the university. I think Dr. Kate told me about that. Just to show you that I was willing and still willing to do something with the university, but it has not come through. If nothing comes through to the university, I may have to consider other means to get back to the students because I really feel that this is a very important area. This is a very important field, and certainly it needs my contribution. It needs Felix's contribution. It needs the contribution of all those that are willing to give, because obviously we don't have time, but we want to make time for our students and for them to benefit from our knowledge. In short, I want to do something. There has just been no means to do that so far, but I will continue to find means to do that, even if it's not through the university. The last question is very important. This day and age, especially with cybersecurity issues, data security is at the center stage. How do we secure data? If I get data from you, how do I guarantee that I secure it? How do I guarantee that I secure your data and your presence online? There's two ways to do that. We have security mechanism, and then we also have something called NDA. If there's a data that need to be processed, you can sign something we call a non-disclosure agreement, or NDA. So this allows us, the people that handle the data, to keep the data within our limits, and then also prevent other people from accessing it. In terms of overall security, it's very difficult to say that you are fully secure when you're online. The only way that you can be secure is if you are self-aware. So with something called SETA, or security education training, that is very popular. Based on the idea, basic techniques to prevent your data from being seen or being exposed, and most importantly, prevent people from tricking on you, tricking you. Most of that can be done using simple tricks, simple intuitions, simple common sense. Like if somebody send you a message and say that they want your password, obviously it doesn't matter who they say they are. You should not do that. All right. If somebody says that they are from the University of Juba and you are the student at the University of Juba, can you give me your email address or student ID? So basic tricks that the online criminal use to trick people are have to be taught to people, and so they should be aware. The best solution or the best defense is yourself. It doesn't matter what I do or say if you don't take advantage of basic techniques, basic etiquette to prevent people from taking advantage of you. You can still fall prey to somebody wanting to misuse your data, or basically to steal your identity, or to just play or blackmail you. So those are some of the areas that if opportunities come, these are the things that I want people to learn from, and certainly maybe in the long run, there will be a chance to do that and contribute in this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Isaac. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
There's so many people who want to ask you questions, so we've decided that we're going to just send them privately to your chat so that you could be able to give them responses. Due to time, we're unable to take a selected few right here. But we'll be sure to.
Thank you so much. What I recommend is, if you guys can collect the question, because I'm going to have to run now, email those questions to me, and then I will find time to respond to them. hopefully, this will be beneficial to those asking questions. But I appreciate your time, gentlemen, ladies, and the organizer. Good luck to you. It was an honor.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
All
Let's
right,
give
thank
him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, organizer. Her name is Bonnie Henry. If you remember, she spoke earlier. If you didn't, she's sitting right there. Could you stand up? We see you briefly. Time is of the essence. Let's give her a round of applause.